what I'm doing now is I'm just sharing. I'm just making sure people can connect, people can see the live before we get started. Okay. Okay, we are going live on YouTube and Facebook. Wow, isn't this amazing? The amazing stuff that technology can do to each and every one of us. If you are joining, please massively share this live session. Go ahead and share as much as you can. Invite others to join. We are not starting until we get 50 shares, so please go ahead and share max as you can, please. Again, if you're just joining, please share this session max as you can. We are not starting until we get 50 shares. So far, I only see one share. Please go ahead and share as much as you can. Of course, there's no limitation to how many shares you give to this video. Let us know where you're joining from on today's session. Of course, what an opportunity to talk about technology. We're talking about information technology. Viewers, will be an interesting one for you. Again, if you're just joining, please share this video. So far, I only see about 2 shares. It costs you nothing to share this video. Share as much as you can. We're waiting for 50 shares in order to start our session for today. So far, I see 15 shares. Please push that share button. If you're joining us on YouTube, please try as much as you can to share. It's going to be an interesting session. We have 3 diverse guests joining us today from all over the world. We have someone joining us from UK. We have someone joining us from Zambia. We have someone joining us from Maryland, USA. The shares are not going up. What's happening, guys? Okay, so far we are at 18 share. Let's go ahead and start because we do have some of our guests who have errands to run. Um, Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Tech Show with Sir GW, Tech Talk with Sir GW. Another day on your devices, another beautiful Friday live on Facebook and YouTube to talk about technology. Thank you for joining us. Please, as mentioned, go ahead and share the session as much as you can. Sharing gives an opportunity for those who are interested in this topic to get to discover our channel, discover our conversation, and also gain some insights about technology. This conversation is not just for people who are into tech, it is also for people who are not into the tech. It is not for just for the old, it's not just for the young, it is for everyone. Again, please share as much as you can as you get started. Let us know where you're joining us from. I see people joining from Douala, Cameroon. I see people joining from Bamenda, Cameroon. Thanks so much for joining our session. We are starting in a minute. Of course, we do have a full session today. 3 guests talking about taking out the time to talk about tech and also share their experience. The session will be a very fast one. It's going to be for only an hour today. My name is Gerard G. Of course, I'm your host of this Tech Talk. And my experience or qualification on this topic is near to your heart. Of course, I am an IT instructor, a senior IT specialist. I am also an IT or tech educational content creator. and I am in the U.S. Navy Reserve. So everything that cuts across technology, I'm into it. Today's topic, we're going to be discovering some insights on tech certificate or experience. We're trying to figure out some of the experiences related to technology, like how companies currently hire in the tech industry. Are they looking for people with tech degree? I know most people go in for software engineering degrees. Others go in for certifications like the CompTIA certifications to get started, while others just focus on gaining some hands-on experience, maybe apprenticeship as we call it in the world of experiences today. We are also trying to assess how these companies hire in America. In by America, I'm talking about North America and South America. If you're joining us from USA, New York, good afternoon. If you're joining us from Cameroon, it's currently 6 p.m. Good evening. If you're joining us from Kenya, good evening. Zambia, good evening. Anywhere you're joining us from, thank you for taking our time to have this conversation with us today. So we do have three guests joining us on this session. It's going to be an exciting one. We have a seasoned tech software engineer here with us, Mr. Isaac Katete, joining us from Kabwe, Zambia. I don't know if I pronounced that right. Of course, we learn as we go. We also have the boss and CEO himself from Abiatech Consulting or Solutions, sorry, Abiatech Solutions, joining us from Maryland, USA. The cybersecurity guru, I know of a lot of people that this guy has trained in the field of technology. My good time friend, my brother Braydon Chenwe, is a product of his training. So thank you for all what you do. Lastly, we have the lady in the house, the award-winning entrepreneur. We have the data scientist. We have the Chevening scholar. No other person but Grace. Grace will be joining us from the UK. Is currently joining us from the UK. Sorry. So because we don't have much time, and I know Hillary, you do have somewhere to go. Let's go ahead and get started with you before engaging more into our topic, please. So I'm bringing in the first guest of this session. Hilary is a seasoned, an experienced prof himself. He's someone he founded Abiatech Solutions. I know of Abiatech Solutions for over 6, 7 years now, but I know it exists even way before then. Thank you for joining us, Hilary. Please just give me a second. Let me bring you on the scene. How you doing, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for taking out time of your busy schedule to engage with our viewers on this educational session. First of all, viewers are interested to know. I know some of your students are currently joining us here today, and viewers are interested in knowing the world of cybersecurity. Last session, I talked about, I brought up a chart, a presentation, and I showed how the tech market is currently moving. And there was an increased movement in cybersecurity opportunities, right? There's a need to safeguard data, there's a need to safeguard systems, and that's why you're here to have this conversation with us. So start by telling us who you are and what you currently do, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you, and good evening, good afternoon, good morning, and greetings to everyone on the forum. My name is Anja Hillary. I'm the CEO of Abiatech Solution. I was born in Cameroon. I moved to this country many years ago, and I have extensive background in cybersecurity. I've worked in several federal agencies and also some Fortune 500 companies. I'm currently a security engineer, and also I have two advanced degrees. When I came to this country, I had a degree in environmental policy, and then I transitioned to cybersecurity, which I have a master's degree in cybersecurity. So, Master of Science in Cybersecurity from the University of Maryland University College. So, I currently run Abiatech Solution as the CEO. We basically focus on transitioning professionals who are already in the field, maybe like IT support, desktop support officer. We can transition them into cybersecurity, and also those who are getting in the field, right? So newbies, we transition them, we train them, and we have a massive program called Employment Support and Transitional Program. That program helps to transition students who are already trained. We provide them with resume support, we provide them with references to uh, basically job placement. At some point, when we have referrals, we refer them, and we're gradually moving to recruiting business. We are almost there, right? And we've been operating for a very, very long time now, and we've succeeded to transition hundreds and hundreds of students who are actually working and supporting and blessing their families. So that's a little bit about me. I have a lot of certifications in information security or cybersecurity. So that's just a little bit about me. And I live in Maryland, precisely in Lanham. And that's just a little bit about me. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that introduction. Right, we're on the topic tech degree, certificate, or experience. You are the one person. If they ask me to call on this topic, I will definitely reach out to. As the brain behind Abia Tech Solution, what does these requirements means to landing a tech job?
Actually, that's a very good question. To be honest with you, I'm going to paint it cut and dry here. There's a lot of misconception here. A lot of people believe that certifications are everything. I'm not in any way saying that certifications are not good. No, most of the employers in the United States precisely don't care about certification. Now, let me fix this. Let me really uh, bring this context here, right? So, in the US, cybersecurity has been termed and has been baptized as a national security issue, meaning that it is very critical that every company in the United States must protect their infrastructure. So it means that you're gonna have to protect your infrastructure. And how do you do that? You must have a certification, or that certification needs to go through an audit process, like SOC certification for their markets, right? So they have to get a certification. What does that translate to? They need people to do the audit. So there's increasing tremendous amount of cybersecurity jobs out there. In there are thousands and thousands of jobs out there, right? So we don't need certification in most cases. But what do you need? A sustainable, genuine, succinct, relevant, and functional training. Okay, so I'm choosing my words here. You want a relevant training, you want a genuine training from someone who is experienced and successful. And not only that, you need someone who's going to train you and help you in the transition. Because a lot of the students in cybersecurity, they don't have experience. So that's where we come in to leverage them. We actually navigate them through that process. So I want to really like stress that out. You don't need certification in most cases to get a cybersecurity job. I'm not in any way saying certification are not good, but majority of the jobs, there are some that need certification. Some can even hire you and give you the condition to get the certification for about 6 months. So that's the whole thing about certification. You don't need certification, you need good training because America is practical. They want to see you relate that point that you're able to do the job. You're able to secure the information systems by following the processes and procedures.
Interesting one right there, sir. Of course, experience of everyone that I brought on this show has highlighted the fact that hands-on experience, training with instructors, live sessions, having these live sessions is the goal, and that is what companies are looking out for. So your take is experience comes first, right?
Yep.
Experience comes first. That follows training, of course. I've had the opportunity to meet with some of the students who passed through your cybersecurity training, right? As I introduced you, I talked about, I mentioned my good time brother and friend, Braydon Chenwe. He's currently joining and encouraging others to share. Thank you, Braydon, for joining. When Braydon and I go as far back when he started, we started database trainings together. And at some point, he realized that with his military background, cybersecurity will be a good take for him, right? But our conversation here is please help the audience know what cybersecurity is and the related job titles for someone in cybersecurity and the average pay? Because I do hear of information security analyst, a SOC analyst, all of these job titles. So help us tell the audience what cybersecurity is and the job titles that come along.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Good question. So cybersecurity is a broad field. It's a very vast field. It's a field that deal with processes that are there. Those processes are geared towards protecting information systems and their underlying infrastructures from unauthorized access or manipulation, or to prevent denial of services in order to achieve three foundational elements in security. There are three: confidentiality, integrity, and availability. And if we talk about confidentiality, it's protecting data from unauthorized access. Like you have your phone, your username and password, that's access control. Or you encrypt, or data is being encrypted, that's confidentiality. And there is also integrity, making sure that data is not being altered, modified, or changed, right? So we can do that or guarantee that by doing using judicial certificates or using hashing, right? And there's also the third goal, which is availability, timely access to resources. If you get to the office, you want to make sure you got internet. You go to your office, you get into the computer system, you want to get network, right? So that's availability. If there's no availability, we're in trouble. Look at Colonial Pipeline. A couple of years ago, there was no gas because the system was encrypted by a virus or a ransomware, and we were not able to do business. We were not able to get gas to go to Ohio and stuff like that. So, what can we use to guarantee availability? Well, backup generator, uninterruptible power supply can support that. So that's cybersecurity in a nutshell. There are a lot of roles that you can get in cybersecurity. Information assurance analyst, you're going to be maybe security operations center analyst. You can be a VDI specialist. You can be a security engineer. You can also be a vulnerability management specialist. You can also be a security engineer with cloud systems, right? So there are a lot of roles out there. But when you do the training, you're going to get the niche from the training. We train you and we figure out where you can actually specialize. And we offer SOC training and we also offer the security compliance training as well.
Yeah, just to highlight your upcoming training, I believe your training starts tomorrow. How excited are you on these upcoming trainings, sir?
I'm very excited. A lot of students are signing.
Yep.
We're going to get them ruling tomorrow. It's going to be fun, fun, fun. Tomorrow is just going to be the beginning. It's just going to be introduction, and we get into just a few things that relates with what is cybersecurity. We're just going to have fun. Talk about critical systems. We go through infrastructures and just talk about few things, and we know ourselves, and we split the student into groups for them to be able to get into know each other and start doing the work. It's
Oh,
fun, fun, fun tomorrow.
awesome, awesome. This should probably be your 100 and something batch. And if you multiply that per each students, let's say an average of 30 students per batch, we're looking at over three. Uh, let's do the math, right? We're looking at over 3,000 students you've trained so far in the career of cybersecurity. Thank you for all what you do. The next question I have for you is in our last session, we had the opportunity to meet with the founder and CEO of Primus Cloud Solutions. He highlighted on some of the careers as being global, right? He highlighted on the fact that careers are now global. So my question to you is, do we have tech career opportunities in US for someone living in Africa or Europe? If yes, how can these opportunities be accessed?
That's a good question. Yes, the answer is yes. There are lots of jobs. I have friends who are in Nigeria. They are doing job. They got it from Nigeria, not even here, and moved to Nigeria. They are in Nigeria and they got jobs in the US. But there's a caveat here. You need to be trained. You need to get the training. You need to, there are some specialties, right? Some special skills that you need to get that it's rare to find them in the US. For example, like developers. You can be a software developer, like my brother who is, I think, is in Zambia. Yeah, he can sell like crazy because you don't have developers. Those who can learn coding and all of that stuff. Yeah, you can have experts, cloud engineers. You can find them in Nigeria, even in Cameroon. A lot of guys you can apply. And if you can feed this with your audience, I have some resources here. www.globalization-partners.com. If you
Okay.
go to that website, www.globalization-partners.com, you're going to see a lot of international jobs. especially from the United States. And there are some core mission systems that cannot be accessed out of the US. You cannot get that job. But the ones that are low sensitivity, you can actually get those jobs in Nigeria, in Cameroon, in Kenya, and other areas. But of course, with the use of VPN and other infrastructure that you can protect your systems.
Yeah, that all comes in line with how the systems work to nowadays. The fact that internet is now connecting people and the jobs that
Yeah.
relate to people. So, very interesting insight you shared there, sir. Tell us more about your upcoming trainings. I know a lot of students are asking when the next trainings are coming, like when the next training is going to start. Of course, I've mentioned that it's starting tomorrow. It's currently on your screen as well. A contact number. There is a contact number on how to reach Mr. Hillary on the training session. So tell us more about the upcoming training starting tomorrow, August 26th, and how someone can contact you if possible or if interested.
All right, thank you. We have an upcoming training tomorrow. Precisely that training is focusing on compliance, security compliance. Now we're going to train you on compliance. It's just going to be focusing on information security compliance, where you can work in government systems, you can do audits, you can do vulnerability management, you can also work on incident response and many, many other fields that when you finish the training, we're going to find your niche. We're going to find you a match. So the training tomorrow is just going to be introduction to information security. We're going to look at those critical aspects for a beginner. So we're going to really talk about what is information security, and then we look at critical systems. We look at private organizations, how they actually build their infrastructures to make a robust cybersecurity environment and all of that. So tomorrow will be just introduction, and students get to know themselves. I usually split them into groups so that they can work. And when they graduate, they're going to be moving to our employment support and transitional program. And also, I wanted to add this. I strongly believe I'm one of the first persons to bring a new program called Internship within Abiatech Solutions.
Wow.
Have you ever heard about any school of internship? You have never
No.
heard that.
Yep.
Or any school of experience? Never ever. But we've come up with one. I have a labs right there in my office where we have students, they come here and work. Guess how much is it? $0. You don't pay anything. So when you graduate, you have internship to participate. And it's very, 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 very flowery. And I have experts coming and helping other students. Thank you.
Yes, definitely, definitely, sir. We just, I'm just reading a comment from your student, Braden. Let me know which, if you're a student from Abiatech, you graduated, or you're a current student, let me know how the program is going. It's also an interactive conversation. Brandon mentioned they can also reach out to him so he connects. It looks like you're very busy, sir. So Brandon is taking the support from you.
Yeah.
We have someone asking about, I think there was a question here about how long your training goes. So you want to talk on that real quick before we close up?
Yep. So they can contact Brandon on his number right there. And mine is 202-706-2193, And there's another number, 202-710-9721.
2-1. Yes, that
202.
is the number on the screen. We don't
Yep.
have much time, sir. So
And
tell
then,
us about the training as the schedule.
yeah, so the training takes 2 months. If we cancel classes, maximum is 2 months, and you are good to go.
I agree on that, sir. Thank you so much for sharing this conversation. Of course, you're always welcome to the platform. Thank you for contributing to the community. Keep doing what you do. I celebrate you. You're a boss in the field. Thank you so much, Mr. Hilary Ancha. We
You
wish
bet.
to have you some
Appreciate it.
other time.
Thank you. Appreciate it. You bet. Bye.
Okay, we just heard from the boss of cybersecurity himself, someone who've trained over thousands of professionals in the field. Let's switch our gear to I don't know. Um, I just lost one of my guests here. So while we have a quick conversation, let me connect with the guest and see if everything is okay. So go ahead and post your questions. Let us know from the comment section which IT program you've heard of and which one you're interested in. While you're doing that, I don't know, Grace, you wanna go, you wanna take up, you wanna pick up from here. Do you want me to bring you on the scene? Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much for coming in. Let me do this. So the next person we have here, next individual we have here is no other person but boss lady Grace. Grace, thank you for joining this conversation. Thank you so much for being part of this Tech Talk with GW. Tell us a little bit about yourself. I know viewers are interested in knowing about the Chevening Scholarship Program, which you are a beneficiary on it. You're currently in the UK studying, doing masters in data science, if I'm not mistaken. You have a lot of profile, but I'm gonna launch your profile in a bit. Let's just hear from you, who you are as a person and your programs.
Thank you so much for having me here. I am Grace Munyiri. I am currently, as you've said, doing a master's in the UK data science, and I'm also a founder of an education initiative for young African people. It's called Kakimita Mentorship, where I use my platform to mentor people so that they can get these opportunities that some people, sometimes you feel maybe I am not in the position to get these opportunities, but through my mentorship program, I try to make all these people come to the point where they can feel they can make it and try to help them through. So, yeah, I think that's my profile. I don't think I have a long one, but yeah, that's just about it. Thank you. Yeah. And oh, yeah, we are back. Great.
Yeah, no, no, don't worry about it. It was just for a minute. So you've talked about the mentorship program. You've talked about who you are as a person. The viewers might be interested to know to know more on uh, some of the some of the things you do. So just give me a second while I check in with one of our guests here.
Okay.
Okay, so one of our very interesting slots on the program is the journey. The journey seeks to identify and match the various, like, share your experience with people who have similar experience and tend to connect with them to see that whatever they're doing, they can keep doing it or they can improve on it, right?
Yeah.
So on the search on the slot, the journey, let's go back to the young Chris in I don't know how you pronounce this. Is it
Unyeri.
Shokogoya Girls High School,
Oh,
Kenya?
Chogoria. Yeah.
Yeah, you graduated top county student. I want to emphasize on this top county student. If someone doesn't know about county is like a division. It's like a division in Cameroon. It's like a I wouldn't say it's like a province in Zambia. It's more like a constituency in Zambia. I've been to all of these places. You also graduated. You were among the top best in the country in your KSC. That's a Kenyan High School Diploma, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
You graduated with a bachelor in actuarial science from the University of Nairobi. A lot
Okay.
of diversity in there. Several scholarships to completing your masters. If not, you're currently completing your masters in data science from the Cardiff University in the UK, if I'm not mistaken. Again, so please walk us through the process.
Okay. If I go back to when I was in high school, I think I had, this. I don't think like I'm a really, really top student. They just, you try to work on yourself on a day to day basis until uh, it just falls on you that, oh, actually you are. So I am like any other person, any average student. It's only a matter of just working just a bit extra hard. So when I was in high school, after my high school, and I had a lot of love for mathematics. I don't know why, but for me, mathematics is kind of a bit walk in a park. So I was like, okay, well, I can choose actuarial science since actuarial has a lot of mathematics in it. And I studied actuarial, and in my course, I had this computational data science course that was really fascinating. And I decided to pick it up. Like from my actuarial science degree, I decided to pick up the data science unit that we had. And it propelled me to apply for the course and the scholarship, the Chevening scholarship, because I knew first data science is very okay, it's the future, to be honest. And two, if I'm able to do this, I'll be a motivation. I'll be able to help many other people to, and especially young African women, to feel that they can actually do it and they can study data science. This is not quote unquote because okay, yeah, not very very many women are in tech, especially data science. So it's not like a very, yeah, it's not a very male oriented career section or field per se, if I may say. So it's passion and also being a figure of motivation for other people. Yeah.
So, but I don't believe the story is complete, right? Tell us. Let's look back at your journey to Chevening scholarship. How you managed to secure the Chevening scholarship, sorry, and how you got to the UK, please.
So securing the Chevening scholarship, well, that it's one of those life-changing points, because applying for, okay, first of all, knowing that they only accept only 2% of their applicants. So out of every 100 people, they will only pick two, because in our cohort, 80,000 people applied, but only 1,500 were 1,500 were selected. So it was a lot of self-belief, trying to motivate myself each day that actually, Grace, you can apply and you can get it. Right, because the process, you start with writing the essays. There are 4 essays that you need to write, and then after that you need to go for the interviews, and then after that, that's when you get the final decision, the condition, like you get a conditional award. And after you have provided the schools that you have an unconditional offer from, then you can be able to get the final award letter. So right from the essays, I can advise for the people who want to apply for Chevening, please start as early as possible. You will have to write these essays, you'll have to rewrite them, have someone to mentor you. I am more than willing. Sometimes it's a bit overwhelming reading. So I remember
For
in the
sure.
last cohort, there was a night I was reading more than 30 essays a night, trying to review them. But if you have someone to guide you through, please make sure you have someone who will be review your essays, and also believe that you can actually get it. Because I always tell myself, if I'm not the one getting it, who else? So if you're listening to this talk, if you want to apply for the Chevening scholarship and you feel, maybe I can't make it, if they don't select you, who else? So after the essays, after submitting your essays, then the next thing is you need to prepare for your interviews. The interviews, you have to master your essays, you have to get your story right. You're going there to sell yourself. Don't sell yourself short. I know we are usually told, now you have to be humble with your accolades. They want to see the best in you, because if they're only selecting 2 out of every 100, you have to bring your best to the table, right? So yeah, after the interview is usually like 30 minutes. It can be virtual, some it's physical interview. You go to the embassy, the British embassy in your country, and but don't fret, don't fear, you got this, you will make it. And after that, you get your award, you're selected. Actually, the email starts, we are delighted to let you know. Yeah, it's an excitement by itself. So yeah, that is my, like, that's the application journey and the journey I took as well. And I would recommend the Chevening scholarship to everyone. It's life changing, to be
It
honest.
is. It
Yeah.
is. I know of a lot of people who are beneficial of the scholarship. They are recipient of the scholarship, and how much it has changed their life. Given having that opportunity to gain an international experience is one thing, right? It
Yeah.
builds you up for an intent for a better prospects in terms of career opportunities and self building aspects as well. So
Yeah.
let's just highlight, talk about the timeline, like in terms of how long this the scholarship from time when you initiated your application. I know the scholarship will be opening on September 12th, right? The new
Correct.
applications are coming in on September 12th. So just
Yeah.
talk a little bit about the timeline, please.
So for the timeline, you will need to, okay, the application is open 12th September, and
Okay.
then early November, I think it's the first week of November, you're supposed to submit your essays. And then the interviews are usually from late February, March, and April. So that's when the interviews, you'll have the interviews, and then after the interviews, you'll receive. Okay, I received my award in June, the last week of June, but the entire June and July, that's when they start sending their responses. Okay, let me go back. For those who will get accepted after writing your essays and they are successful, they will be notified in late January and early February if you can move forward to the interview process. And then if you're successful with the interview, then you'll be notified in June in June and July, around there, and then you start your you start applying for the visa and everything else. But that, I mean, it's only the essays and the interview you need to worry about. For the visa and everything else, I'm telling you, it's the easiest process. As long as you have bagged that chevening, you're just going to that office and you're saying, "Yes, I'm here with the chevening."
Yeah, yeah.
So
Of
it
course.
will be easy for you. So yeah, that's the timeline. Just make sure by November, if actually don't wait until November, try by October, the midweek, at least you're finalizing your essay. You have like the final version of your essay that you're just reading it time to time to try to make it better. So yeah, that's the entire timeline for it.
Uh, Thank you so much for highlighting on the timeline.
Yeah.
You've been featured on a lot of programs, right? A lot of programs. That's how popular you are. For a lot of the viewers don't even know you're very popular, right? And in some of these videos, in some of your featured videos, I came across some two quotes, right? You said, if you put your mind to it, you can achieve it. That was the first one. The second one was, hold the vision, trust the process. So talk a little bit about how this has helped you, guide you to where you are today.
Actually, it's very good that you pointed that out because those are my two main quotes in life. If I can think about it, I can actually achieve it, and that propels me to not to feel limited with the resources I have at the moment. I always tell myself, if someone else got it, I can actually get it, and if someone else didn't get it, then I need to get it so that I can be an inspiration to someone else. Because we are in anything that you do, you have to believe in yourself. And also my principle is only believe. You don't have to think much about it. If you want something, apply for it. If it's the Chevening scholarship, because I have a close friend who applied for the Chevening scholarship 5 times and got rejected, but got accepted in the sixth time. I have a friend who applied the first time and she was accepted. I have others who applied, they were accepted in the second round. So if you think that you have the qualities of a Chevening scholar, you know yourself, you know that you can actually do it, you can actually achieve it. Rejection is redirection, right? So if you're rejected once, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't apply the second time. So if you're rejected the second time, that doesn't mean that you can't apply the third time. So make sure you believe in yourself. And the other thing is, hold the vision, trust the process. You need to be visionary, you need to be ambitious, you need to be resilient. And resilience is what brings about trusting the process. Each and every day you fail the first time, you're like, oh my goodness, am I going to make it on this? I mean, why should I even be here? But it's believe you want to, it's because you're trusting the process that each each failure I have, it's a stepping stone to a higher success. So I can say, okay, yes, I have been successful at many things, but I have also my fair share of failures. And these failures, they've made me to be the person I am today. And from each failure, it's a learning point. So yeah, I hope those quotes will also inspire other people. If you believe you can achieve, please go for it. Hold the vision, trust the process. Yeah.
Sounds good. Thank you so much for sharing that. We had someone from Kenya join us last week, Anita McCoy. She's also highlighted on some of these things, and these are qualities that successful people, will always share to whenever they're given an opportunity to share their story. So I want us to talk about the limitations in girls in tech. Right?
Yeah.
When you look at the statistics, there is a huge gap between women in technology and their male counterparts. So tell us a little bit how we are working together to close these gaps in gender inequality in technology.
What I have seen most recently in very many companies, especially tech companies, they have a percentage that they need to have as women in their board, because it was kind of a very male dominated field in the past years, and most women didn't feel that they can actually be in tech. So most companies they have enabled more women to get on board, to be in these board discussions, to talk about tech. And there are so many scholarships as well for girls who want to get into technology, or women who wants to get into technology. There's so many scholarships geared towards that. I know, especially in the US, because after my high school I was applying to universities abroad for my undergrad, and there were so many scholarships for women who wanted to go into technology, and there are also so many mentorship programs for women who want to go into tech as well. Like, okay, for example, in my Kakimeta mentorship, I mentor everyone, but I have like a soft spot for women, yeah, especially young African women, to be honest. So there are also so many mentorship programs that you can get. My idea would be, if I would be that, maybe that lady who wants to get into tech and you don't know where to start from, go on LinkedIn, look for someone that you want to be in future, talk to them, because sometimes I think we limit ourselves so much. We're like, no, I don't think they will respond to my message. You do it. I mean, if someone inspires you so much, if there's this person in tech they inspire you, just talk to them and they will be more than willing to mentor you. So companies, they have allocated space for the women in tech. There are also so many mentorship programs, there's so many scholarship programs, there's so many certifications as well. So if you're any young lady over here and you want to pursue a career in tech, please go for it. We need many of you here. That's what I
Of
can say.
course.
We need many
Of
of you here. Yeah.
Actually good that you highlighted on these quotas that women like companies have for
Yeah.
tech related jobs, because I've seen this in companies. And as an IT instructor, I always tell my students, especially the female students, I'll tell them from the start of the training that you have more chances to get a tech job than your male counterparts. And they always think I'm joking, right? So thanks for emphasizing on that.
Yeah.
Again, any other thing you want to share to the audience, people joining us right now?
What I can say is, please follow your dreams. Don't fret. Don't fear about anything. Just believe in yourself, and you'll actually achieve. If you need any kind of mentorship, any guidance, I am more than willing. Send me your LinkedIn messages. I'm more active on LinkedIn, to be honest, than any other
Right.
social platform. So send me your LinkedIn messages or look for a mentor who will be able to guide you through. And I wish each and every one of you the very best. And make sure to apply for the Chevening scholarship as well.
Awesome,
Thank you for
awesome.
having me. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Of course, your name is on the screen. If they want to connect with you on LinkedIn, they can go ahead and connect with you. Thank you for joining this session,
Thank you.
Grace. It's always a humbling opportunity to get to have you here. Please come around sometime. Check on your younger ones to see if they're doing okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much. Bye.
Bye. Thank you. So we, while we're waiting on the next guest, I'll entertain some questions people have been asking. I know someone asked about software engineering roles. Let me know where you're joining from. For the person who asked about software engineering roles, let me know. While we're waiting on Mr. Isaac to join this session. Okay, I see comments from hello, greetings, nice connecting here. Thank you, Kem Elvis, my good friend, for joining the session. Joe Adeline, thank you for the comment. Please, just to highlight that sessions are always every 2 weeks, every other Friday. So the next session will be September 8th. It will be mighty. So please connect with us next week. Next week, not next week, sorry, the Friday, September, I believe it's the 8th, yeah, September 8th. Connect with us and let us keep improving on our skills in technology, not just, but also help out the younger ones. I see parents joining us who have kids who are interested in getting into technology related field. There's this usual misconception about technology. I don't know, I don't know if Mr. Anja is here. I could still bring him on board since we don't have Mr. Isaac on. But there's this usual misconception about tech, and we tend to shy away from this misconception, especially our fellow Africans, like us Africans, our brothers currently living in Africa, whether it's in Cameroon, Kenya, Zambia, Namibia, any of these places. They always tend to get this misconception that, oh, tech is difficult, tech requires maths, because the ideology is to see software engineering students posting PHP codes, Python codes, and it's so sophisticated for their brains, and they feel like, no, I can't do tech. There are a lot of tech related career programs, right? Career opportunities, as well as uh, things that you can focus on in tech. It must not be software engineering. It must not be something that requires code. I know of people who have worked in the tech field and they've never typed a single line of code, right? If you are a help desk person, which is an entry level tech, which reminds me that I just posted, if you check on my Facebook page, I just posted an opportunity that I will be training. I'm giving a lifetime opportunity for 10 people, right? Whether you're young, you're old, so long as you're inspired in getting into tech. I just made an announcement talking about I'll be selecting 10 individuals on to train them on entry level tech job. So when what I mean, let me cut here since we do have Mr. Isaac. Let me bring Mr. Isaac on board. Mr. Isaac, let me know if you're here. Can you unmute yourself and let me know if you're around so I can bring you on board? Mr. Isaac, you're muted. Okay, we're having difficulties bringing Mr. Isaac here with us. Let's continue with the conversation. So the training program I'm talking about is mainly for, you don't have to know computer, right? You don't need to be a specialist or have a degree in computer science. So it's for anyone, from whether you're an accounting student, whether you're from biology. Tech is the lead now, and you should get into if you have a chance. The reason some when we highlight on tech, it's not for anything, right? It's not to take your money, because I don't even like the training I'm talking about is 100% free, meaning I'll provide your data wherever you are, right? You must be you must be an, of course, if you're from Africa, I'll provide your data. But if you're in Europe, any of these other Western world sites, I can't, so I can't provide you data. So I'll also provide you hands-on training on entry-level jobs. So we'll touch on basic networking, basic security. We'll touch on basic systems administration, just the basic things, the things that will upscale you from an accountant or an accounting student. You can be a student. If you're a student, it's an opportunity for you. So I'll make the final announcement in the weeks ahead. Stay glued on my page, on a Facebook page. And let me see, what else do I have. I'm still waiting on Mr. Isaac here. Mr. Isaac, are you available now to join, please? So I'm just gonna skip Mr. Isaac here because I feel like he's having an internet having network issues from wherever he's from Zambia, where he's joining from. So again, on the training, you don't have to pay me a single dime, right? The goal of this training is to prove that anyone can be in tech. And the reason why I'm starting with entry level roles is because you are better off if you're in Africa, especially you're better off getting starting in in an entry level position and working your way to the top. We've seen people starting careers in help desks. They're starting careers in junior security analysts, and they work themselves up to the top. So it's an opportunity you don't want to miss. Stay glued to my Facebook page, and let's keep contributing to help out with these careers. So let me take some questions from the comment section. I asked, someone said, can someone with little or no background in tech get started? Of course, Afon, that's a good question. We've always talked about you don't need to know tech to get into tech. And the highlight of tech, it's more of a global thing, right? Unlike medical fields where when you are a registered nurse, let's say in Zambia or in Cameroon, and you come to the US or UK, you have to start all over, right? In tech, the same Java program you learn or you run on your machines in Africa is the same program here in the here in the US. So if you have a CompTIA certification, whether it's a Security Plus certificate, whatever certification you have, it's industry recognized certificate. So everywhere you find yourself, you can easily start IT. Let me see another question here. What else? Do you, if please go ahead and post your questions while we round up. We have just 5 minutes to the end of this session. So if you have any question, please post your questions. Someone with Let me go back to the software engineering question. Someone talked about software engineering. I'm trying to look into it. Okay, so I'm interested in software engineering. Could you please drill me on it? I think I asked you where you are currently joining from. If you tell me, I'll be able to talk about it based on your location. I always talk based on location because it can help me guide you on the various training programs that are beside you. You've heard from the guests who joined us today, and even Mr. Primus who joined us in a last session. Everyone is emphasizing on the need. If you're a beginner, on the need to join a live session, you need to join a live session, come which is interactive. You have an instructor, you have yourself. So let me know where you're joining from if you're still here. So back to the topic of tech being global. Tech is heavily global, right? If you're a cybersecurity analyst or engineer in Nigeria and you move to UK, it's a plus on you. All you have to do is just start applying for jobs. But I don't think there is any other. Even accountants will agree with me that if you are an accountant back in Cameroon or anywhere, and you move to the UK or US, you will probably start with teller jobs like these banking, basic customer service banking jobs before while taking the CPA or whatever accounting certifications they have. Unlike IT is universal, it's global. Medical doctors are currently facing the same thing as well. It's no way disregarding other occupations. I'm just giving you a floor, giving you a talk on the opportunities that are guided in tech. And these opportunities will help you if you're from poor background, if you can't afford your basic needs. These opportunities will guide you and they will build you up. A lot of people here who join, most of the guests who join, their stories are alike. You hear someone saying, I come from a theology and philosophy background, other people saying, I come from, but now they own tech companies. They own tech training companies, not just tech companies. They own tech training companies, means they've been able to learn this tech within a short time, and they are giving training, and it's working because they have students from all over. So if no other question, I will go ahead and let's talk about the next session. The next session is we will be deep into opportunities in tech. So our next session will be on September 8th, same time. We will dive into some of the opportunities that are in tech. Like I will touch on specific opportunities. If I don't touch on tech opportunities, then will probably talk on a breakdown of all the career paths, especially the person who asks about the software engineering. I'll bring in guests to talk about the specific career paths and something that you should look out for. So, if no question, thank you so much for. Okay, someone is asking, how do I join the training? Again, I will announce or make that announcement. Unfortunately, I can only take 10 students to prove that technology with no experience actually work. So if and this is only open for Zambians and Cameroonians. You can be anywhere in the world. If you're Zambian by origin or a Cameroonian by origin, I'm currently selecting four students. Four students. So your engagement on my platform matters. Your communication matters. Reaching out to ask for questions, like ask for guidance, also matters. It's not something that I just pick all because I just know you. No, if no other question, we've come to the end of our session. It's always a pleasure having you guys. It's amazing, honestly. It's amazing having you guys. Unfortunately, we couldn't get to Mr. Isaac. We will try to bring him on another session. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much for sharing, for liking, for commenting, for contributing let's help each other out. Let's share opportunities out. When I post opportunities, please go ahead and share. If you have opportunities and you want to talk about them, please reach out to me and I'll bring you on this session. Finally, we have an educational talk show program that guides you. Other than the gossips and everything that is happening on Facebook, we have something that it's a guide thing for us who are lacking behind or who have skills but are willing to change or who have careers and who are willing to change our career path to something related to technology. See you in 2 weeks on September 8th. Thank you so much and have a blessed day.